If your community asks, you answer. I've noticed you've got questions, and some of them were so good that I thought it was worth answering them in a video. So here's my first Ask Me Anything, where I'll be answering some of the most interesting questions that my community have asked me on my socials. Stick with me until the end, because maybe your question will be answered too. So the concept of making someone's life easier is the backbone of an impactful solution. It's the human-centric approach that we embrace in product design. Has there ever been a time when this advice significantly influenced one of my business decisions? And the answer is absolutely. I mean, when you're thinking about developing products, you're developing products because people have problems. Just replace the word product with solution. That's really what it is. So it's always about how do you basically be a good host? How do you make it easier for people? The simplest products win, and the products that really make people's lives easier are the ones that people remember. And when they're thinking about a particular brand, you'll come top of mind because they want that itch to be scratched. Next question. I tend to agree with your take on short video being the way forward. From there, you can transition to newsletters, subscriptions, links to blogs. In fact, I believe short form video will be the new blogs. Can blogging really survive without videos redirecting traffic to them now that SEO is becoming sort of irrelevant due to people using LLMs? People have been saying email is going to die forever. And it's the same thing with SEO. People have been saying SEO is gonna die, SEO is gonna die. I remember when social came out, YouTube, Facebook, those platforms, and everyone said, well, if people are gonna be searching on YouTube and if people are gonna be searching on Facebook, they're not gonna go to Google. And the reality of the situation is, yes, LLMs are going to take some market share away from Google. I notice in my own behaviors. But it isn't going to be irrelevant. It's just going to change. And I expect that Google, I mean, you're seeing it with Bard, you're going to have more AI results within the Google search results. So I don't think blogs are going to die. I think blogs, if anything, are going to thrive in this period. If you actually look at Google, Google's actually been prioritizing UGC content because if you think about it, in a world where AI is creating 99% of the content, if you have human created blogs with unique points of view, then that will be prioritized. So don't give up on SEO. We actually have a business that uses AI tools to actually help companies with SEO, and we're seeing some incredible results. That's called boringmarketing.com. You might want to check that out. Here's the question. I have no idea what to get loud about on the internet. I've always found to be what holds me back with creating an audience and eventually an audience, but I'm all for building products. Any tips? Basically, this question is asking, I want to get loud on the internet, I want to make noise, but I'm not sure what to make noise about. That's why I love tools that basically search and scour places for underserved niches. So that's why I spend a lot of time talking about Reddit. Reddit is a culmination of hundreds of thousands of communities and micro communities. And you can see the growth rates and different trajectories of some of these communities. And you could see that here's where some opportunity is and this is where other opportunity is. I think also it's just about, we all have our personal interests. And instead of just exploring your personal interests in sort of a solo way, how can you explore it in more of an internet way where you're sharing your journey, exploring your interests? So for example, maybe I want to learn how to play blues guitar and I'm a beginner. What if I actually live streamed it every day and allowed people to follow my journey, and I'd probably attract the blues community. So there's a lot of benefits with being loud on the internet, and that's why I like to be loud on the internet. Next question. What cities have I been spending my time in? So I actually split my time. The majority of my time is in Miami, Florida, maybe 8 months a year. And then I spend a few months a year, 3 months a year in a small town in Quebec. I love both, but for different reasons. I've got the beach here in Miami, and I've got this, mountain, small town where I can really connect with my roots in Quebec. serious question. How would you create a program to help us become less addicted to our phones? I'd be curious to see the replies. In order for us to be less addicted to our phones, I think we have to be honest that the people who make the phones and people who make the apps are designing the apps for it to be as addictive as possible. So it's up to us to refrain and limit our use of some of these apps. A glass of wine a day is fine, but having 3 glasses a day or 5 glasses a day is not fine. So I think education is just a really big way for us to be less addicted to our phones. I also think that making it easier to basically download a particular app that is literally designed for us to stop using the phone. So I think there's going to be a whole new economy for different apps, different Chrome extensions to get us to stop using our phones. And I actually think that there was a point where using your phone was high status, and I actually think we're moving to using your phone out in public and stuff like that has now become low status, and it's going to continue to be lower and lower status. And I think that hopefully will get people to be more living in the moment. To summarize, I think that piece is there's a cultural zeitgeist that's happening where I think we are all starting to realize that we should probably be on our phones less. Quick question. Why School and not Circle? Why did I build on School and not Circle? Why is Community Empire on School? And the short answer is it's built by this guy named Sam Ovens, who comes from the internet marketing world and really cares about retention and engagement. So for example, when you create a post as an admin on School, you can actually create the post and send that post as an email to all the people in your community. That's really big for retention. There's also a leaderboard and a gamification of the whole community experience. So the way School works is you can set up different levels, and the more you engage with the community, the more you can unlock certain content. That helps with engagement. So I think the reason why 95% of communities are zombies is because they don't really nail engagement and retention, and School to me is the best platform to go and nail those problems. Next question, what is the best social media platform to start writing in today? You know, this is a great question, but I think the way to think about that is like, what is your goal with your handle? What is your goal with building an audience? Where does your audience live? Like, what's an app that you love the best? Like, what's an app that you're gonna come back to so that you can consistently create content? You know, for me, I actually find video to be really difficult, but I find writing to be a lot simpler because I'm a writer and have always loved English growing up and writing and creative stories and all that stuff. Video to me feels awkward. So if I would have started on YouTube, that probably wouldn't have worked because I wouldn't have done my 10,000 hours and continually showed up every single day and every single week. Ask yourself, where is your audience and where are you going to consistently show up to? Because consistency really outperforms anything else. So that's it for today's video. I hope you found it useful. If you've got questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer them in a future video. And of course, if you don't want to wait for a future video, you can join my free 5-day course at communityempire.co. And at the end, there'll be a link to my private community where you can answer me all the questions you want. Thanks for watching. Bye.